Guten Morgen, everyone. I'm Krydax, and welcome back to Season 3 of pYanodon's. We have got some silicon going on. It rhymes, so that means it's true. I'm trying to remember. It's been the weekend since I recorded, so what are we doing here? Yes, we needed to do the rest of the build. Draw the rest of the owl. Did we already get trichlorosilane available on trains for our Sam? Ooh, we can call this Sam. That's fun. I hadn't thought about that before. And Sam is a vital component in pretty much everything Tier 2, including the trains, diet beacons, chemical science, modular armor for more inventory, and Tier 2 bots. Oh my gosh, how far are we from Tier 2 bots? Sorry, I'm trying to drink coffee and it's really hot. Let's see, we've got, what are we missing? We're missing, so obviously chemical science, and then there's 1, 2, 3 chem sci recipes. As far as parts, there are a few things I'm not recognizing. There's mechanical parts 2. There's tower unit Mark 2. Now, for what it's worth, I don't need Roboport Mark II. I probably will use them, but I don't need them. And then the construction bots still only have a cargo capacity of 1, which is a bummer. But titanium, super steel, solder, stainless, gearbox 2, EVA, Nextlet batteries, flying robot frames. So I guess super steel's the main thing, which does look like kind of a pain. It's like stainless steel, but even more expensive. We throw in molybdenum, we throw in vanadium pentoxide, which is awful, until we get the new vanadium pentoxide recipe from ChemSci. So on top of that, we've got cobalt oxide, which is clean cobalt sulfate, which is cobalt sulfate, plus a crap ton of sulfuric acid, 100 each. And then that comes from cobalt extract. And lime and syngas, which are pretty cheap relative to cobalt extract, so those are kind of small costs, but yeah, 100 sulfuric, a cobalt extract, some syngas. Interesting. Huh. And we can make some super crystalline structure. But yeah, the main thing we're gonna need is better vanadium pentoxide. Alright, so we're still a ways from bot 2, even once we've got ChemSci. Good to know, good to know. Speaking of cobalt extract, by the way, we're about to request some here. So this was the coke belt that was going to come in for what? Oh, to fuel the doodad. Okay, so then these guys need to request a variety of other ingredients, because now we need cobalt extract, nickel plate, aramid, graphite, coke, crushed quartz, powdered quartz, and I think that's it. Let's see. How many free slots do I have? 70 and 70. So I'm gonna request 3 items a piece if we're doing 20. Should I request a full train of cobalt extract? I'm trying to remember how expensive that stuff is. And I think it's a lot. Yeah, it's the cyanic. And I mean, the mixed ores are what? A weird ratio for sure. So 15 mixed ores to get through. So it's really 5 mixed ores to get 1 cobalt extract. And 5, so 1 cobalt extract is 8 copper, 4 rare earth, and 8 nickel. That's logistically a lot, but price-wise, it's not very much. Nickel, though, what does nickel cost? I don't remember. Where is my nickel? That's zinc. Nickel costs syngas, so that's cheap. Very cheap, actually. We have lots of syngas available, so I'm not worried about that. And then the rare earth. Does that cost us anything? So really, cobalt extract is just cyanic acid, which is the annoying part. Which, once we have meat to cyanic, that should help. Which I should be getting soon, right? Cyanic. We're not that far away from this now. Actually, we're still quite a few researches, surprisingly. It's kind of a path we haven't touched yet with the Navens and the Grod and everything. So we're still a ways away from this. Anyway, the rare earth is coming from where? This one. This doesn't cost anything. It doesn't even use drill heads. Rare earth is just as free as a bird. Okay. I mean, it's annoying in the sense that we can't easily get more of it without making another rare earth mine somewhere. Rare earth. But look, there's one right here. So I can easily get some more rare earth available. And then at that point, it's just a cyanic acid question. How much cobalt extract did we build this for, though? See, this can only handle 0.75 a second. I should have built that bigger. Now that I look at this. Oh well, that'll just be one of the many things we have to upgrade at some point. One of the many... What is this? Some pieces of zinc we didn't delete properly? That's what that is. Okay, so moving on. Let's get... So this is for Nisai. Let's put that there. And then this needs the electronic grade silicon. Does anything else need electronic grade silicon? Yes, but that's Prodsci. That's Kimsci. That's Kimsci. I'm just trying to decide if I want to put ECS, electronic grade silicon, on trains yet. I think I might. Might as well. In for a penny, in for a pound is what they say, which is just a saying that supports the sunk cost fallacy. It's totally fine. 1, 2, 3. And then this is the graphite, powdered quartz, and coke. Which, what is this? 1.5 to... So this is a 3-to-2 ratio. I bet we can make this another Elegante build if we just do 3-to-2. This. The problem, though, is what happens if the ratio changes as... And I forget, we didn't need this for anything else, right? Advanced castings, which we decided we're not doing for a very long time, because even though technically we could use them in the Kimsci stage, none of these were useful. Except the gears. I feel like green SIC is easy enough to make in 2 places, though. Like, I don't think we need to have one giant place that makes a bunch of green SIC. If it's only used in 2 places, I think it's okay to make it in 2 places. Especially if those 2 places are pretty different purpose. Okay, first of all, are the rates fast enough here? Yeah, 0.4 each. So that's more than fast enough. And then... yeah, so let's start requesting here. So in terms of rates, coke is a very large rate. So let's put coke in here. Coke, and I don't know, can I get away with 35 stacks? That's still only 5 minutes of time. So then we'll want to put the lowest request to match with that to try to balance out here. So we'll do nickel plate, which is just going to be 21 stacks. Actually, nickel plate, I think we can get away with exactly 20. I think the amount on the belt is going to be a big enough buffer. And now I have 19 stacks left. Dang it. Okay. Now I need to go down just a couple on sand here. And maybe one coke. So now I have 22 stacks that I can do for cobalt extract or aramid. Wait, do I have enough? No, I don't. Shoot. Hold on. I literally don't have enough storage. This one's gonna need to be bigger. Hold on, I'm standing right here. I can do this. Unmerge, remerge. There we go. Yeah, because we don't have enough slots. Because I just requested 3 things there, and that covers those 3, plus coke, and then we still need graphite, 2 types of quartz, and aramid. That's 4 more things. So we definitely need some more space here, especially because graphite's probably going to be another 30 stacker. Because we're doing about 200. Yeah, that gives us 5 minutes of buffer there. Powdered quartz. 25. It's cutting it too close. 28. Here. Crushed quartz. Also stacks to 100. And then aramid fiber. Okay, we got plenty of stacks here, so let's boost up. Graphite by 2, powdered quartz by 2, quartz by 2, aramid by 2. Alright, 183 should be fine. Everything's good to go. Yeah, okay. And I just need to confirm that we are actually making crushed and powdered quartz to go on trains. Crushed quartz. And we were, but we weren't loading it because we don't have power. That's hilarious. So close. So close, but no cigar. Well, am I not making advanced foundries? I might not be. I don't use them very often, so... Yep, we are not. I'll throw in 4, just because we might actually make chunks of them from time to time, especially once we get tier 2 version being a little bit less ridiculously bad than stone furnaces. I still think this and the automated crafting machine are a little bit of a crime with how slow they are compared to their non-electric counterparts. Especially the assembling machine. The assembling machine one feels egregious. That this is twice as fast as, you know, well, I probably can't find it. This. Literally 4 times, more than 4 times the size. It's like 5 times the size. And half the speed. It's ridiculous. It's just absolutely nuts. Alright, let's get things hooked up here. So, I probably shouldn't have removed that. Also, we're almost at 300 hours playtime. Crazy, crazy. Let's see. So, the coke... Let's start with this. Wait, that has a nice high output. How did I miss that? Cool. That's only using half as much as I thought it was. Also, I just said nice eye when I meant cobalt extract. Okay, so that needs cobalt extract and nickel, and the silicon will come from this belt. So then cobalt extract and nickel plate need to be on this guy. And then that will come over. Wait, what research did we just finish? Integrated circuits. Cool, cool, cool. Does that mean anything for us? Not really, not really. I can make Bakelite now and Cermet. We're gonna have to set up Cermet at some point. Oh, there's so many things we're gonna have to do soon. Neuroelectronics. I assume we need that for brain. What's the thing? The vat brains. That's what I'm trying to say. Oops. No. Oof. Canceled that just in time. Okay, so this will come up here. 0.4 plus 0.2 is only 0.6, so regular inserter is more than fast enough. And then I need some sort of buffer situation for the cobalt extract. It's the easiest way to do that. Probably just something like this. So this, input priority right, this, this, that way we have a buffer, and that's filtered on that. Okay, so that's done, and it's on the correct side, and a train is stuck, but it's not stuck. How did a train take this long getting iron? See, that's scary. How did a train take this long getting iron? Okay, hold on. If it's stuck, that means it has taken 5 minutes. So that means we should see. That was for the automation science input, right? Wherever that is down here. It's big iron requester. So what? Why did it be stuck? Oh, it's because these two take so long to unload? I think that's it, actually. I think it's just because it was waiting for so long. No, that doesn't really make sense, though. Because, yeah, by the time it gets here, this one's already going to be halfway unloaded. And iron loads and unloads pretty fast. So that doesn't make sense. What's going on here? Let's observe. How does this guy take 5 ever? Because he gets loaded up quite quickly. I don't know what this is, 20 seconds or something? 30 seconds? And then he goes to his destination, and then he unloads. What's to get stuck? He must have been waiting. It's got to be waiting the whole time, right? Yeah, he's off. He's off and going. Oops. Running to the destination here. Yeah, it's just because the stone takes forever. That's all it is. Is there a way I could speed that up? Probably not. Because of this one being in the way, there's literally... Well, I'd say there's nothing I could do. I could have some sideways blue inserters. That could get me another 8 per second out, but that's a drop in the pond compared to what I need. So it's really not until red loaders that I'm going to be able to fix that sort of issue. It's not going to happen very often because we happened to need ash and stone at like the same time. So I'm not super duper worried about that. Anyway, okay, back to the problem at hand. Now we need to extract coke from this guy. Should have had these go in the other order. Totally fine. Well, coke is going to split. It needs to go to multiple places, but one of the places it needs to go is to here. Do I not have a logistics request for belts? I actually don't. That is kind of hilarious. Okay, well, I'll start it at 200 so we don't overload our bots, but we'll increase that eventually. Anyway, so now we've got coke available for that, and we need to bring over some spare silicon. Give that belt some space. Bring up the silicon, which is another 0.4. Power everything up. Are we outside the build range? No. Why have those not been built yet? No way. Are we not making mechanical inserters anymore? No, we are. It's just taking our bots forever to get here? Yeah, here they come. Wow. I don't know where they were coming from, but I built those forever ago. Oh, I can't wait for faster bots. Let's remind ourselves how much faster the bots are going to get, just so we can get even more excited, as if I wasn't already excited. So, the speed is 37.9 versus 23.3. That is a lot faster. I think that's 50% faster. 62% faster. That's a significant difference. And that's not the only difference, right? So then we have the operational time being higher. And look at the reach. The flying reach is 668 versus 336. So it's double the distance they can go before they need to charge, because the energy capacity is higher, as well as the consumption being... I guess the consumption's about 50% more as well. Not quite, though, because if you look at the moving consumption, the moving rate is about 50% more to match the speed boost. But the base level consumption is not 50% more. So they are more efficient at their non-moving rate at a baseline, plus having a bigger battery. Plus being about 60% faster. And on top of all that, I think we get another bot speed upgrade in ChemSci. Yeah. So we can do that one as well, which is a huge boost. We go from 35 to 75, which is a times 1.75 divided by 1.35. So the overall speed boost, once we get those bots and the ChemSci bot speed upgrade, will be 210% of the old speed. So bots will get here more than twice as fast, and that's gonna be incredible. And it will be even more than twice as fast because they won't need to charge as often. Like, they're slightly more energy efficient. So they'll have fewer charging detours along the way. Though, so it's close. They'll have fewer charging detours, but when they do a charging detour, they will need to take longer to charge because their batteries are more. So the amount of time spent charging will be similar, but even that will be less, as we already discovered, because their baseline consumption is a little bit more efficient. So if they're running for 1 minute of fly time, and then they need to charge for, 8 seconds, the old bots are that way. The new ones might run for 1 minute of fly time, going, let's say they went exactly twice as far, but they wouldn't need to charge for 16 seconds. Maybe it'd be 14 seconds. So, like, it's more efficient on every angle, which is great. I'm just gonna put this on the side here. It's the easiest way to find the vacuum pump. There we go. Got it. Well, I just learned something new. Did you guys know this? Did you guys know this? In Recipe Book, you can middle click the made in and it brings you the Hellmod style, like it's already pre-selected blueprint. Holy crap! I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's so nice. That is so nice. Wow. Okay, so we need the electronic grade silicon, which is being loaded into trains and also brought over here. And then we also need graphite, crushed quartz, aramid, and the flue gas. I think we are recycling. Oh, that's the hydrogen recycling. Right. I forgot about that. And then number 2 can be for flue gas. No reason not to recycle it. So what we do is and then we have the overflow thing. So we do. How do I do this again? I just did it a minute ago. 10% and 90%, and then exhaust pipe. Yeah. And that way there's a one-way going this way that will always be flowing out until that one. Wait. I don't actually think, hold on. I don't think this works the way I thought it did. Well, or does it? Oh, this is what I think is different. You remember how I was like questioning myself with the old behavior versus the new behavior on overflow? I think I'm not crazy. I think I'm revalidating myself here. Hold on. Okay. So let's say you have a 10%er. Hold on. I have to set this up properly. So we're actually doing the exact same setup here. Like this. Okay. So that does that. You know, water gets into here. And I think what's gonna happen... This needs to have a few more pipes. I think what's gonna happen... Well... Yeah. That is what I was worried about. Yep. Okay. So this isn't filling it to 100%. So it's not just a pump that works when the back is more than 10%. It does only overflow up to meet yeah. Okay. So I'm not crazy, and that means where brownie points for anybody that remembers where I did this setup, because it's not gonna work. Where did I do this setup a minute ago? And by a minute ago I mean like in the last 5 episodes. I did this setup somewhere recently, and I have no idea where it was. What did we build recently? I guess that would be the question. Oh, was it here? Did I do this setup here? No. Maybe. No. Where did I do... What did I build? What was the last thing I built before this? Wasn't the iron? That was forever ago. Wasn't moss. Moss related? Probably not. What did I just build before this? Totally drawing a blank. Was it up here that I did that? I don't think so. I redid the Relasia at some point. honestly not really sure what it was. If anybody knows, tell me in the comments, please, because I do not remember. And it's important that I fix it because it's not going to do what I thought it was going to do. And I apologize. I've been less than complete in my sentences and thoughts. What we're dealing with here is that this is not going to work because this only will fill this one still up to 90%. This actually does need to be a full-on pump, like this. And then that actually does work. So I don't know why I thought that a 10% was that much easier anyway. I mean, it saves me one tile, but like, whatever, who cares? We'll just use a pump. So this is how it has to be for it to work properly. Anyway, the electronic grade silicon can come up here. And then we need graphite quartz, crushed quartz, and aramid. And then the other things we needed was powdered quartz and coke. So as far as we don't support moving, that's right. So we need well, hold on. Graphite is needed with aramid and powdered quartz. There's no overlap here, is there? Graphite's needed with two different things. Coke and powdered, or aramid and crushed. Yeah, so the graphite's needed for both, but there's no way I can put one thing on the belt that is gonna make it happy. So I guess I'll just put the crushed quartz, and then aramid will be on its own. Okay. So those come up and then over and then across. And we kind of do the squiggle, which is a dance. Everybody do the squiggle. The squiggle is a dance. Let's get Roboport access up here. Up in here. Up in here. Okay. Graphite, crushed quartz, and aramid. So we need this belt to come up. Those guys. Rates wise, crushed quartz and aramid is 0.75. ESI, what am I calling this? Electronic silicon? Electronic grade silicon. EGS. 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 Alright, so that's that, and now we're missing the something, the graphite. Oh, and we need coke. I guess graphite and coke could go together. That would have been smart. Oh, okay. Well, too late now. Too late now. Dang, that would have been more elegante. We are not elegante on this fine day. We are inelegante. Okay, so across the Roboport here. And then we need... Can we reach from here? We can. So this is actually the perfect spot for coke. Gosh, I love that coverage. There's full power coverage between those two power poles. Okay. And then the graphite is only 0.3 a sec. No, this is coke. This is coke. We need fast boys. Fast boys. And now these are gonna make ash, which I didn't really consider. I feel like at this point it would have been easier to bring in fiber. Yeah. Probably should have just brought in fiber to burn, or wood. I think wood's better than fiber. Although, did we ever really iron that out? Okay, hold on. What am I doing? Ash. Because I know we looked at like fiber production from Kickout getting pretty absurdly fat. Which build was it that we were looking at? Now I can't remember where we compared the two. The inside of one of these? No. I don't know. I need to delete. I can't undo that. I just deleted the build that I just made. Like a dingus. I don't know why. What was this? This was me looking at the different ways to get formic acid, I think. I'll leave that for now. What was this? This was urea from wastewater. And what if I made wastewater with the B-type molasses? Aha, that's what this was. Yeah, the problem with Tufra being manure bacteria cost. I wonder if the level 3 Tufra maybe makes that better. We get so much more. And we're only at... I guess blood meal is kind of expensive too, so maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, we can delete that one. I don't really care about that analysis. For now, what else can I delete? Yeah, that was just seaweed Mark III comparison. Don't need that. Random... Oh, no, I need that. High pressure steam turbine, can delete that. I don't know what that is. This is sulfuric 2 ways. Owoji versus sulfur. And we discovered that with Mark II Fawoji, this is a pretty dope way to do it. Technically, I didn't do the fungal substrate method, though. We're not doing the fungal substrate method. I need to switch that at some point. Let's put that on our to-do list. Switch to fungal substrate Fawoji. Okay, so that's on my to-do list now. And then, let's see, what's next? So now we need to unload the Wait, we're not getting aramid. What am I doing? Okay, hold on. What we need to do is sideload the aramid onto the EGS. Here. And that will be elegante, as I like to say. And we've got the fast inserters for that, so that works. Wafers! We did it! We made our first wafers! Let's go! That one should have been an achievement, in my opinion, or milestone, I guess they're called. That's going on the wrong belt here. Need to go on a separate belt. And the ash will go on this belt as well, but then get filtered out. Okay. We got wafers, baby! Alright, so wafers... and EGS will both go into the... whatever this is called, the provider, multi-provider. We're gonna need to sideload, there we go. And then we're gonna need to filter right EGS. Enable disable EGS less than 2500. One train load. Mergify. that, plug that in, hook it up, give it the same kind of condition, but then that'll change to wafer. And we'll go for 6,000. So then the wafers are actually gonna have to go down here because I've used up all the underground spots. Okay, so there's wafers. That's done, and then we're gonna need the silicon carbide, chili con carne. I still can't stop thinking about chili con carne when I say that. And these are already grabbing that, so now they need the graphite and the powdered quartz. So now we need powdered quartz, which I do not have access to yet. Which is on the aramid thingy. And then the aramid is side loading because I forgot that it was supposed to have two things on it. So the aramid goes left. And then the powdered quartz will go straight. But then we need only the graphite to continue forwards here. So can I do a... I mean, I can. We can do one of these guys. And then the quartz will be on the right side, so we can do one of these guys. This is spaghetti. This is what you guys are here for. You know it, you love it. This is your bona fide Krydax spaghetti. All right. Side loading weird stuff onto weird belts. You know, it's what you're here for. All right, and the powdered quartz should be arriving soon. It's just a matter of, you know, this guy has to catch up. Plus, we also stole crushed quartz, and so we're also refilling on that. So it's refilling on both at the same time. So it's going to be a little while, but the overall rate of quartz should be fine. Oh, that's not getting powered up. That's not fine. That's less fine. Oh, I'm such a dummy. I saw 7.5 and I'm like, oh look, we can't put any more on the belt because the belt's overloaded. And then I forgot that, you know, there's the whole stacking thing that these automatically do. And we can do this and like absolutely get way more quartz onto that belt. Silly me. Fixer for kids. Uh-oh. We're having a fuel shortage? Or is it just a delivery rate shortage? Yeah, I was kind of worried about this. We can fix it by just adding another FR fungible, you know, fluid request. Fueling fluid request. You know, as they say, FFR in the biz. We can just add another FFR and plug it into the same thing, and it'll work. So that's always an option if I notice this is stopping too much. It's hard to measure without watching it though. Okay, and then silicon carbide goes into a variety of things as well. So that gets unloaded and then brought down. And did I make enough of them? I deleted the thing, but didn't I have more than two? Or was it... I think I did. Oh, whatever. We'll just do 2 blocks. I'm not really worried about the cost of this, so I might as well. Just get a second batch up here. So that keeps coming up. This goes down. No, wait. No, this doesn't. This is for the other one. Confusing myself here. But that should get me everything I need for... Right? Yeah. Yeah. That'll be good. Alright, so that'll be silicon carbide. And that needs to be going into this thing. from a different angle. Oh, yikes. So it could go from here. Can we get an amen? It would need a... I think we could make that work, but my other idea would be to go around this side, which I kind of like better. I'm so mad at myself that I deleted that line. How much silicon carbide does that make? That would make a maximum of 3.2. So let's use a loader since we could speed it up with beacons and upgraded buildings eventually anyway. And then carbide. And then, is this even... I don't think there's space here for one there. We have to go this. Alright. But that should work. No, it shouldn't. Or more like, no, it won't. Goodness. Okay. This, you know, like I said, Krydax spaghetti. You're here for it. You're getting it. You're getting dat spag. Alright. Here we go. Boom. Done. So as soon as we have powdered quartz, we should successfully... Are we not making EAFs either? What is wrong with my auto mall? Goodness gracious. We are not making EAFs. Goodness. Apparently we just had enough of them from some godforsaken time in the past. But now we're good. Okay. I hope. Are the EAFs... I always need to check. I forget to check. Like, do they have some weird ingredient that I'm not making in the auto mall? But no, we're good. We're making fluid mining pills, so good to go on that front. How's power been? I haven't looked at power in a while. It's been... I think it's been okay. What I don't like to see is that there are no dips in this, which means the title still isn't really supporting the base by itself, which is kind of where I want to be. And I want to have the other stuff as like supporting the base when things get hairy. So I am going to build another... I think we're going to go for 2 chunks because it's been a while since I've done this. So 1 and 2. Bots are not going to like me. That's fine. And I think we're done. Silicon production is fully complete. We're still waiting on a recipe for Nisai, which is currently being researched. This is actually the red circuit recipe, by the way. Holy crap. There's a lot of steps before we get there, but this is the red circuit research, which is kind of blowing my mind. Also, heat pipes? Thermal furnaces? Whoa, crafting speed of 8, but it consumes up to 10 megawatts of heat. Crazy. I wonder, do those have the same recipes that foundries do? Or is it a different set? Are they just like stone furnaces but faster? So what's a thing that can only be made here? This is a thing that can only be made. So if I look at, nope, I have to alt click. If I look at ECS, yeah, it can't be made in them. So it's just a stone furnace but faster. Interesting. Seems not worth it except in very particular applications. Maybe for like mass producing stone bricks or something. But even then, is this really that bad? I guess this is kind of bad. Like if you needed 4 times as many stone bricks, this would be a pretty big, you know, section. And having those other things go 8 times faster. But still, 8 of these are not that big. Although it changes it to 1 building, which means you need fewer inserters. You could just use like loaders, which helps. And then you don't need the second belt for fueling. Instead, you need a whole setup for heat generations, which may or may not be simpler. Anyway, I think we'll call it an episode there. I am pleased with our progress, and I think I need to remake the silicon carbide, or silicon block, which is annoying, but I'm gonna do it. Click. Okay, that's most of it. Now we just need to put in the rest. So the amounts we had were like 2. Yes, I believe that was exactly the amount, actually. And then we had 1.5. And those were blue. Should always be the default. And then that was accurate. That one. And this had a bunch of extra, right? We built enough for 20, I think. Is that all right? And then, so that's ready to go once we have red belts. Yeah. Okay. So this is what we built. All right. I just wanted to have that available again if we want to reference the counts that we used and the rates and such. Cool. I think we're ready with all this. It's possible I screwed something up. Oh wait, there was one other issue. What was it? Someone left a YouTube comment. This is like 3 or 4 episodes ago, so it's like a week ago. My brain is trying to remember. It was something about coal dust, I think. Was it about coal dust? I might need to pull up YouTube for that. Ah, it's that one. Wait, no. No, I don't think it was. What was it? Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull up YouTube comments because I can't remember what it was, and I wanted to check on it because it felt important. If it was wrong, then I could have an issue. Let's see. Someone said, I'm gonna scroll down. It was a few days ago. Where is that comment? Did you mean to let the new coal dust provider fill up? No insertion limits on the chest. Ah, Randy Seltzer. A common commenter. Thank you, Randy, for that question. And the answer is, I think the answer is yes. I think this is fine. This isn't a multi-provider, so yeah, we don't need any limits on the chest. So that is correct. All right. I do appreciate when people leave those comments, and I think sometimes I miss them, but usually I get to them eventually. And then we've had a lot of errors that we've fixed because of YouTube commenters saving my bacon, so I do appreciate that when you notice things. All right, there we'll call it an episode for reals. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one.